Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. He is Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley.
And today we're talking about, well, it's a spoiler-free review of Episode 1, The Next Generation.
Yeah, we're finally here, Stuart. We've watched it. We have already reviewed it as a spoiler. Filled, come out tomorrow. And there's will be a full review live as well, tomorrow as well on Friday. And a full week of things. Without spoiling, I can say there's lots of Trekyards material in this episode, so expect lots from us. That's not a spoiler. That's just a cool promise. So what do you think, Stuart, of this episode?
Loved it. I'm glad that Star Trek is kind of getting back to what it's supposed to be. A proper use of canon, little Easter eggs, you know. It feels like coming home. There's a lot of things that really jazz it up and make it feel like Star Trek. So I'm absolutely stoked to see more of this. So how about you, Commander?
As I said in that other review, it felt like since Discovery Season 1, there's been a soup that's been being made with a shelf of things. They've been pulling things off the shelf to make a bowl, and the soup's never tasted right because it's been... And then suddenly Terry Mataus looked up at the shelf, and there's two things labelled, you know, canon and good characters and dialogue and things that make Star Trek on the shelf of Star Trek. He just pulled them off, he's gone sprinkles, and it tastes like Star Trek again. And it's the first time in many years... with a few brief exceptions, 50 minutes. It should have, would have been longer. It makes you want to watch more. I'll say that. Good dialogue. You feel like the characters are the characters, which has not always been the case for a long old time. And while we'd seen a lot of stuff already, a blessing that if that's what we've seen in the trailers is just in episode 1. Well, then we've got stuff we haven't seen yet to come. So it's both fun and also like, okay, we've seen it all, or a lot of it anyway. But yeah, really fun. And Picard's pretty good in it. And Riker's very good in it.
And sometimes, it's the small stuff. Well, music's not really small, but the music is spot on. Very harking back to a lot of things we've heard before. It felt very nice. And also, even just something as simple as text at the beginning. The color of the text, the font of the text, what it says, all harkens you back to other things that are Star Trek, which is fantastic.
Yes, there's a large degree of non-subtle movie era references reintegrated back in. We know that was in Terry's mind. It'd be interesting if a fan that didn't know that was coming would pick up on those, or if we're just extra attuned. But it's not subtle. There's even like a alert klaxon inside the ship. It's like, well, that's just out of Star Trek 6. It's a very old klaxon. Okay, fair enough.
And speaking of ships, I mean, like we said, a lot of Trekyards material, and they're making the main ship a character again. You're getting to know the ship and like the ship, and good introductions. There's a lot of really great stuff setting things up.
Yeah, it's a big setup episode.
Yeah, that hasn't been done in some of the newer Trek as of late. So, it's good to come back to that and kind of get a feel for what we've been asking for since like the beginning of Discovery.
Well, if this had been season 1, starting with Picard having a love interest, meeting an old friend, big plot. I mean, this is what Patrick Stewart promised when he said Picard is back. This is what the audience thought he meant, because he's not impressive in this episode. He's an old man Picard that's out of date, but it's played off so effectively and charmingly. So he can be not new, but still be Picard and fun to watch. It's and we definitely did not need season 1 and 2 to get him to this place. Knowing about his mother and seeing him die and face his illness has not remotely changed him to this.
You don't need to see seasons 1 and 2 of Picard to enjoy this. This should have been season 1. This should have been TNG season 8, Picard season 1, and gone from there. So it's off to a really good start, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this season. Hopefully, it just keeps the momentum going.
And do expect a very setup episode, but there's so much setup. You're like, well, where are we going then? Well, okay, is kind of the vibe. So go watch it right now, and then our full review, because we talk a lot about a lot of things. We throw in a lot of spoilers. And our full review, as I said, the 2, maybe even 3 hour scene by scene breakdown. We love doing those, and this will be a very stop. Look at that pretty thing. Continue sort of review. So tune in for that as well. And if you want, you can join us for those lives and like, subscribe, comment on anything, everything, all the things. Super thanks if you want to as well on any video. So if you tune in and find a spoiler ship, super thanks on that. and comment and like. All helps the algorithms, Jim.
Yeah. And if you're new to us, just finding us, just looking up spoiler-free review, by all means subscribe and make sure you join us for all those lives and stuff because we do a lot of content. So click the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of it. And we'll see you guys in the future. So until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.